Hey guys, Ben here with Vance Outdoors, and today we're talking about the all-new saddle from TETHRD. This is the LockDown. We're going to cover the features. I'm going to show you some of the new things that they've added to this to upgrade it, and we're going to show you how to adjust it and just talk about the saddle in general. So let's get started. I'm going to open her up here and show you what you get when you purchase this from one of our stores. Obviously, you're going to get the saddle. Comes with the bridge and everything already attached. You're going to get the new yoke system. That's really cool. You're going to also get the safety warnings and instructions pamphlet here, and they also include a TETHRD sticker, so that's pretty sweet as well. I'm going to close this up and set it off to the side. Set the yoke over here really quick. Now we're going to get into the saddle. Let's jump into the features, and one of the big ones is the expandable panel here in the back. And with the new LockDown, they've matched the footprint for the old Phantom saddles. So if you're familiar with that, if you have an old Phantom, if you run a regular Phantom and you want to upgrade to the LockDown, you want to grab a regular LockDown. And the same goes for the XL. The big difference is obviously the expandable panel, and with that you get 5.5 inches of adjustability. So you can, it's a hybrid 2-panel saddle is what it is. So you can adjust it however you're most comfortable when you're up in the tree. It's pretty cool. While we're talking about sizing, if you're not familiar with TETHRD sizing, the regular saddle is going to go from around a 28-inch waist to a 36-inch waist, and the XL saddle is going to go 38 inches and above. Just a little piece of information there for you if you're kind of worried about sizing. Like always, if you're around one of the stores, you can stop in and check these out for yourself as well. Try them out and see how they fit. So let's move into talking about what keeps this panel together, and that is the LockDown link. It's a piece of elastic here, and it's actually got the 3 bar buckles on top and bottom, which keep it in place on the MOLLE loop on the top and bottom of the panel here. Now what that does, it's going to keep it tight. You might be asking yourself, well, if I'm hiking at a mile, is it going to keep together or is it going to sag down and fall apart? Well, from my experience, this thing stays tight and it's not going to fall down when you're hiking in. It's adjustable here too, so you can tighten it up. If it's not as tight as you want it, you can tighten it and make sure that it's definitely not going to fall. But as you're hiking in, it's going to stay in place. It's not going to move. It's a very cool design. Once you get up in the tree, you can use the loops here on the bottom of the panel, and that's going to allow you to adjust the saddle out and tuck it underneath your thighs and make it super comfortable when you get up there in the tree. So, with the LockDown links, they do include another set because it is a wear part. It's going to actually stretch out eventually. You shouldn't expect it anytime soon, but they also include in one of the pouches, they have 2 more of those for you. And then you have the adjustable Freedom belt here that's going to allow you to cinch up. And then the belt system floats in the top here on the panel. And you can actually offset your buckle right to left or keep it in the center if you want. While we're on the belt, it comes with a Cobra buckle. Very easy to operate. You just pinch it, open it up, click it right back together, and it's super sturdy. It's a great belt buckle, great system they have set up here on the belt. While we're talking about strapping here and safety, we're going to talk about the leg straps. On the old saddle, they came with a J-hook, and on this new one, they've upgraded to the micro Cobra buckles. So just like the belt, and with this, you don't have to worry about which leg is which. You just, clip them in and they're good to go. And those are fully adjustable as well. So moving into the next big feature for the LockDown, we're going to talk about the pockets here. These things have been attached to the saddle, so they don't do cis haulers anymore. And if you buy the LockDown, it's going to be permanently attached to the saddle. But I honestly think it's a huge improvement because it keeps this pocket super rigid and you can fit a ton of stuff in here. This thing, I think, doubles the amount of size for storage than the cis hauler. One of the big things about the LockDown pocket is the ability to open it and close it with one hand. So once you have the belt tight and this thing's on and you're up in the tree, one-hand operation, you can grab this little loop here, open it right up, grab whatever you need out of the pocket, and then you can close it right back up with one hand. Super easy. You don't have to worry about, having 2 hands like with the old cis haulers. Let's talk about storage on the pockets. You have 2 on this saddle. You've got elastic pockets in the front with no closure, so just something in there like a beanie or set of gloves or whatever. You can stuff those down in there. You've got a zipper in the front with a good bit of space. You can fit a good bit of stuff in there. And then your main panel, you have two spots here that are sectioned off for organization, and then you have one main pocket. And honestly, with this thing, you could fit your lineman and your tethered rope in here, and you still have room to put something else like a puffy jacket, or run wild with it. You can put a ton of stuff in here, and it really keeps it slim as well with all the stuff. Very, very cool. While we're still talking about the pockets, I want to talk about what they call transport mode with the bridge, and then we'll get into the features of the bridge. So with this saddle, the way that the pocket is attached to the saddle, there's a little spot back in here where you can tuck your bridge when you're walking in. So you tighten your bridge up, and then you fold it in half, and you can take this and pass your hand through the back and stuff that bridge through and pull it, and it keeps your bridge out of the way, and you can hike in with no issues. Then when you get up in the tree and you need to access your bridge, you just grab the knot, pull it out, and adjust your bridge back to where you need it to be to clip in for safety there. So that's very cool, another cool feature. And while we're on the bridge, this is their new UtiliBridge. It's just like the old one. You've got 36 inches of adjustability from point to point here. The big difference between the two is they've added a girth hitch to the bridge. So what that does for you, it allows you to micro adjust your comfort channels here, and the girth hitch locks it in so you don't have it floating up and down. That's huge. It keeps your bridge tight where you left it. Now let's talk about ropes. With this system, you don't get the ropes with you. It's not a full kit, but I want to talk about the lineman specifically. With this pocket, the way it's set up, a lot of guys girth hitch their lineman rope to the lineman loop here on the side. And a cool thing about these pockets, you can tuck your lineman's in here, and you've got your rope girth hitched, you tuck your lineman in, and you close your pocket up, and it keeps it super streamlined, so you don't have a bunch of excess rope to get caught on stuff, and it keeps your lineman out of the road. It's a very, very cool feature on this saddle. So let's move into the yoke. This is the new suspender setup for the LockDown, and it has an HDPE plastic insert here in the back. Now what that does for you, it keeps the yoke centered in your back and doesn't allow it to float. It really keeps it locked in. This thing's fully adjustable in the front and the rear, so if you're a taller guy, you can adjust it out. If you're a shorter guy, you can tighten it up, and it's fully adjustable for you. Another feature on the yoke is the elastic here in the back, and what that's going to do, it's just going to help you when you're bending over or climbing the tree or whatever. It's going to keep it comfortable. It's not going to ride the saddle up. It's going to allow it to stretch and move with you as you're moving along. So this thing attaches to the loops here on the top. They're made for the yoke. That's very cool, very, very nice system. They also have the vertical molly here, so you could attach like a rangefinder pouch or whatever there. Not necessarily have to carry a bino pack, because you could put your binos in your other pocket over here. Very, very cool. You can do a ton of stuff with this saddle. All right, guys, that pretty much covers it for the LockDown. I want to thank you for watching the video. If you're interested in checking one of these out, you can stop by our Hebron or Lebanon or Obet's location and talk to one of the archery people there. They'll be able to help you look at one. You can try one on and see if it's the perfect fit for you. Again, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below, and also click that notification bell while you're at it. And if you wouldn't mind, go follow all of our social media platforms. We really appreciate that.